Hey, kid. Nice ride. Can you race it? We'll see about that. Hello, and welcome to Good Boys Gone Bland, Season 9, Episode 9. Little 99 action there. Two folks spooning.
Highway 99.
Cars. Kind of weird energy to say a kid's movie right after the 99 joke. But I'm your co-host, Denali.
I'm your co-host, Ryan.
And I'm your co-host, Jace.
Welcome to our show. Sorry about the 99 joke. I'm not running this back. I keep that in. Welcome to our family-friendly, from here on out, a Cars episode.
No, it's not. No, don't say that.
Family
You should
friendly.
No, we're not even going to
E.
make that joke because it's not ironic enough for you to say that.
Bring him back in.
E for everybody, except children.
Yeah. Fine. But no cussing, guys. No more cussing. Get him out right now.
No more cussing?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Ryan, that's your one. Jace, do you have one?
I'd like to save mine.
Okay, you get one.
Yeah, per
Yeah,
airtime, right?
You get one anywhere in this podcast. You can use it once.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm going to say mine right now.
Mm-hmm.
Piss. And that's my one. All right. And so, folks, we're a podcast that marathons and watches 10 movies of a similar actor or subject. God damn.
Yeah, okay, I
You
got
got
it
me
out
in
of
the
the way.
pitch,
Got
man.
me,
You
that's
got me
pretty
in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, no, just keep going.
Or the subject. We're 9 movies into Cars. Car movies. We've watching 9 car movies so far. We're gonna watch 10, and we're gonna do it until it goes bland. That's what our show does. We watch things until they go bland. Usually it takes like 10 movies to do so. We finally got there, guys. We finally got to the movie Cars. This is our most requested movie, I'd say. And whenever we mentioned the garage, our car season, people are always like, have you seen Cars yet? Have you seen Cars yet? Well, here it is, folks. It's here. Here's the Cars episode. Congratulations.
Get off our back seat.
Yeah, you little fuckers. I'm sorry. That's it. I'm gonna put a thing in the. There we go. Okay, there's a coin in the jar. Guys, I want to address something from the top. Something that we have discussed in previous episodes. We mentioned it like 4 or 5 times by now in other seasons, and I think we should just put it out there now. The Tumblr post, the Reddit post about the Cars universe, I think we should squash this. You guys are looking at me strange. In the Cars 2, there was a certain meme, there's a Pope-mobile in Cars, right? This is implying a wider, expansive Cars universe. We are already familiar with the concept of cars. Everything's a car. The presence of a Pope implies the presence of a car Jesus Christ, okay?
The fact that the Pope was in the Pope-mobile
Yeah.
also implies a car assassination attempt.
Cars canonically have guns. But the deeper question, and I was discussing this with Amber earlier, right? So there is a car Jesus Christ of car Nazareth. That means there exists cars in ancient Roman times, okay? So that means there was a car medieval times and a car crusades, and it kind of goes on and on. But there was a time before cars were invented where cars were the people. Does that make sense? Like there were car wars, but was there a word for what they were? And why was there roads?
So essentially, what was the effect of the Industrial Revolution?
Yeah. So at what point did their society?
It probably is not like only cars, right?
Yeah.
Because like we've learned that trains
That's true. Blimps
also have this. I don't know. Do I want to say ability? Trains are also like this,
Yeah.
Helicopters.
Helicopters.
right? And so I think it was probably back in those days. It was probably wagons.
Yeah. Wagons, chariots.
Can they move themselves? It's the engine is very important to the car, so they definitely need something pulling them.
I think maybe this is like a creationism sort of thing where like the Cars universe was only populated after cars were discovered.
Okay.
Right? How some
Okay,
people think that,
Yes.
you know, the Earth is only 6,000 years old because that's how old the people in the Bible are.
So
If there's a car god, doesn't mean that we have to have the same car,
car history,
you know,
right?
Genesis.
Okay. So you don't think there was car cavemen who were like huddled around a fire and then Yeah, like I think at one point they mentioned thank the manufacturer, right? The manufacturer was their god. So maybe as cars were rolling off the assembly line, that's when their history starts. And maybe
Right.
at that point in 1955 or whatever, there was a car Jesus, and then that kind of accelerated.
1955 is a little late.
I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, television and radio, I think, kind of helped maybe proliferate.
I was thinking about this too. Primarily,
Okay.
we're too close to talking about the movie.
Yeah, too close.
Primarily because in one scene we're in kind of like a workshop with
Yeah.
some old trophies. We'll get to that. And there are a lot of things very neatly placed, including books on a shelf. And
Yeah.
like we saw one vehicle use their antenna in kind of like a prehensile type of way to move objects and items around.
Not like a boner like Herbie. It was
Yeah.
he used it as a hand.
Yeah, I don't know if prehensile is the right word there.
Right.
But it almost implied to me, it's like maybe like a Wall-E thing. Where, like humans were alive, then they died, but the cars are alive now.
Oh.
So you think there was like a car war maybe that happened, like where humans were eradicated?
Like Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Planet
maybe
of
it was
the Cars.
a virus, dawn of the planet of the cars, where the cars were the only thing that was left, and they had to pick up the pieces.
Or they took over.
Could be.
And the Pope Mobile was like, well, shit, the Pope's gone. I might as well.
I'm the new guy.
Yeah.
I'm fucking dressed like him. The Mobile looks like him, so I'm gonna just do the thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that. I like that, Jace, because my explanation that I had unfortunately written down was that humans turned into cars, and then they all just got over it really fast and never talked about it again and just accepted their car lives. But I think
not bad.
I like
not
that.
right.
I like
Right.
that
Okay.
kind of. I
Okay.
kind of like that.
yeah, yes. So everybody traumatically turned into cars and had to reshape their whole society.
Not bad.
The bugs, though.
The bugs are okay. So that's the other
fucking
thing, right?
bugs. God, okay.
It's not just there's not just anthropomorphized
Yeah.
cars. There's
Right.
also like bugified cars.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, guys,
Okay.
Annihilation,
Okay.
Prism,
Oh,
car DNA,
Yeah.
and human DNA.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
mixing together.
It crossed them together. Crossed their brains together.
Uh-huh.
And that's why they don't remember being human, man.
And that explains the bugs. Annihilation.
Okay. It was an area X that happened in this area. Everyone turned, and then once you get outside of this 10-mile radius, everyone's people again. They're like, "What's happening in that bubble? What's going on in there?"
yeah, that doesn't really work with the plot of the movie and
shit.
with the plot of
was
Cars 2. Because I
haven't-
watched most of Cars 2.
Okay, I haven't seen any frame of it.
Oh, it's nuts.
Lug nuts.
It's lug nuts.
Fuck. Okay, that's the last fuck. That's it. That's it. It's over. Bring the kids back in. This is family friendly
No,
from here on
I
out.
don't-
That's the
I
last
still
fuck
don't think
I'm gonna
it's-
say.
Cursing is not the deciding factor of whether or not
I
kids should
think-
be exposed to it.
I think we curse too much on this show. My mom sent me a text and she said, "You guys curse too much." And look, Mom, you're right. All right. You may have taught me these curse words, but I think we have potty mouths. And I think it's time, just like Disney. I've been looking at you guys into stocks? Like the stock
No.
market?
Not
I've
particularly.
been looking at Disney's stock and it's worth a lot of money. And I think it's because the kids. And I think we're missing out on a huge
Wow,
market.
you're a marketing genius.
Yeah,
Wow,
and so-
you picked all that up on your first day. Nice job, dude.
So I think we should have a more family-friendly podcast.
Uh-huh.
Less cussing, more bits for kids.
Okay.
I don't think that I'm going to come right out and say, even if we're doing this as a bit,
Okay.
this is not a good
Yeah.
idea.
Okay, Ryan, you go. Give me a kid joke.
You know, I don't know any kid car jokes. I know a kid bike joke.
Oh.
Well, it's too bad, Ryan, because this is not.
know.
We didn't watch bikes. Oh, Lightning McQueen, more like Lightning McBoogers. I like how Ryan laughed the hardest at that. He's the mind of a child.
You know, severe lack of noses on
Oh yeah,
the vehicles.
no noses.
Booger.
So
I feel
cars-
like a good sneeze would have gone a long way in this movie.
There was a character who sneezed a lot in the movie, though. He was the
Mater.
he was the guy with the flames out of his pipes.
Oh.
Oh, I thought so. The
the
exhaust
hot
is the
rod.
Yeah. But smell was the only thing that wasn't talked about in the movie. Every sense was talked about. They're like, that oil tastes good. Ooh, what a beautiful sight. No one talked about how shit smelled in this universe.
You said shit.
I think, I think, fuck, guys, kids. I'm sorry, kids. Sometimes it's hard to be a child star, a star for children. So maybe the world is stinky because everyone's farting.
Yeah, car fart, like exhaust, like you know when Lightning
Yeah.
McQueen was racing on that. What's the female car protagonist's name?
Oh, it was Sally Carrera. It was Sally.
Sally.
Why didn't they go with Carly?
He was
Carly's. It's too funny. It's too funny, right? That's why they didn't do Carly. People would have busted their guts in the theater, and there would ambulances everywhere. I think that's why they didn't do Carly.
They didn't a last name.
Yeah, I read the IMDb, and Porsche Carrera. That's the model she was.
Got it.
And Owen Wilson was a McQueen in the movie.
Can we go to the movie, please? For God's sake.
Let me check my notes. Kid jokes, farts. Yeah, we can talk about the movie. Fuck it. Shit. Jace, you picked this movie.
I picked this movie.
What
This
have
is
you
the
done?
point,
Okay. Yeah. Why did you do this? Why? What
I
is
did
it about?
because the fans had a belt buckle around our throats.
Yeah.
You know,
took one for the team, man.
every week.
Yeah.
You're putting out
Belt
nice, fun, cute stories for people's responses. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, what's your favorite thing? And they're like, we'll stop watching if you don't review cars.
Yeah. Multiple people DM'd me that.
Yeah. So I picked it, and also I like this. It's fun.
Yeah. It's a fun movie.
It's a fun
I'm
movie.
happy to watch it.
Cars, Pixar. As Ryan mentioned earlier, it's an anthropomorphized movie where cars are humans and everything else. And the story's about Lightning McQueen, who wants to win the race. And then he gets left on a highway in a town.
Yeah.
And he has to find out for the first time in his life that he shouldn't be a piece of shit. Fuck, I used mine. Damn it.
Jace. All right, kids. Once again, I am sorry. All right? I'm going to say that. To the parents, I'm sorry too. CARS stands for Cars Are Really Smart. And that is what the movie is about.
What does the
there's-
cars in
Cars stand for?
Are really smart.
Does it just
Yeah,
go
that's-
down like to
That
infinity?
stands
turtles?
for Cars Are Really
All the way
Smart
down.
as well. Don't bring the kids back in. Just send them out. Just send them out for the rest of the show. They're gone. This is an adult show. This is an adult show from here on out.
Thank you, Denali.
Okay. And we can't get in trouble for the last stuff because we're saying this now.
That's interesting. Like that's when Adult Swim would come on at like 8 or 9 p.m. or whatever, and
Yeah.
they would play the intro to that, and it would be kind of probably that's.
Yeah, I'm like, is that a bit? Like, I don't know.
And then the most gruesome TV shows, would come on, and you'd just be like, "Yeah, give me that."
I remember seeing Super Jail on Adult Swim in like a hotel room when I was a kid. Sorry, that was a short tangent, but I was watching like cartoons up to this point, and the first thing I see is a man getting his head ripped off violently.
Yeah.
Changed my life. Yeah.
On that topic a little bit,
Okay.
Cars 2 goes in a completely different direction.
Oh,
Okay.
It's a completely different genre of movie, but set in the Cars universe with the same characters. It kind of reminds me of like the old Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee movies, where like it's the same two actors and they're in like 1 week they're in a Frankenstein movie and the next week
Okay.
they're in like a Dracula movie. Like it's the same people,
yeah.
but it's about like it's a James Bond movie essentially,
It's like a spy.
like a James Bond, Indiana Jones type movie.
What in God's name got him into that mess? I mean, look,
Well, Mater first of all.
this is your pick for the last episode 10. If you want to go that route, I support it, but we don't have to spoil it. I'm fascinated. Yeah, Jace mentioned this. It stars Lightning McQueen, Owen Wilson, great cast. This came out June 9th, 2006, okay? We're getting into the date range where I think we're going to be knowing the box office a little better. We were seeing movies at this point. Our brains are forming together, okay? This opened number 1 in the box office. Made an absolutely outrageous amount of fucking money. This thing was making on a budget of $120 million. It made $462 million.
Ooh.
Almost $500 million, okay? And this is the other weird last number thing I'm going to tell you guys. Merchandising for Cars has made over $10 billion. This is like one of the most heavily merchandised franchises of all time.
I don't get it because like we already have Cars.
We already have Cars. This is the car lobby pushing their propaganda on the rest of the country, okay?
Rest of the world.
And I remember this too in 2006. I remember thinking like, oh, this is Cars. Like, it's not a bad movie, but seeing like Lightning McQueen pillows and shit everywhere. Anyways, open number one, $60 million opening weekend. Great opening. Can you guys guess number two? This is a rom-com. Came out June 9th, 2006.
Fever Pitch.
It is not Fever Pitch. Ryan, you have two more guesses until Jace automatically wins.
Is Fever Pitch pretty close?
I mean, time-wise, I guess it's pretty close. It does star a kind of a schlubby, dumpy guy.
Dumpy guy.
I like the Jimmy Fallon insult there that you just threw in.
I like Jimmy Fallon. He's my
Me
favorite.
too. Oh
Jimmy.
yeah, me too. That's why it's funny.
Is it got
okay.
Ryan Reynolds in it?
It's not. It does not have Ryan Reynolds in it. I will say. Actually, I'll say the cast: Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, is it that one where they're like, oh, it's like,
Yeah. You probably see the front cover in your
Yeah.
head, maybe. There's like a roll of duct tape in between the two of them.
because they're together, but then they split up.
Yeah, and what's that like called?
A breakup.
Yeah, okay, so those words are in the title. Can you say the title?
The breakup.
Okay, Ryan, that's 1 point for you. You barely won that. The next one.
That was hard.
Jace, are you still there? Are you frozen?
Oh, that would explain a lot.
Oh.
I was like, he is really stonewall in this bit.
Jace is frozen with his face in a
The most
thinking.
like disdain.
Yeah, he's frozen in a thinking face, and I thought he just did not even bother to guess.
He's just like, I hate this fucking game. This is my second to last podcast episode ever.
Oh my god. Okay, Jace just texted me. I just blue screened. Jace, where did you leave off?
I don't remember. What?
'Cause
Was I talking?
Trivia.
Yeah,
No,
what
it was
was-
a trivia where I got it right.
Yeah,
And
so
then
Jace,
you didn't change your face. And I was
Yeah.
like, does he just really not like this bit? Does he really not think that I got it right?
I don't care for the box office
Jace,
game that
listen.
much, but okay.
All right. On that note, the next movie on the box office game, number 3 for this weekend, is the last movie in a trilogy of superhero movies.
Spider-Man 3?
It's not Spider-Man 3, but
Whoa.
it is Marvel.
Iron Man 3?
2006.
What 3 movies did they
Yeah.
have that weren't
Yeah.
Spider-Man?
And I will say, these are huge.
Is there only one other option?
Was it like the first Avengers movie and you're fucking with us, or?
No, 2006.
I don't know. You keep saying 2006.
Yeah,
It's not helping me.
He's
Iron
implying that the
Man
Iron Man was,
was-
was later than that.
Oh, Iron
Yeah.
Man was 2008, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah.
Oh. LLO.
Team of superheroes.
Fantastic Four?
It is not Fantastic Four. Bigger
X-Men
than
3.
Four. X-Men 3, The Last
Oh.
Stand.
Nice.
Fuck.
Ching.
You guys are tied. I gotta do one more now. I'm sorry. We're taking up time. Stop winning, guys. The next one wins. Number 4, this is brand new this weekend. It is a remake of a 70s horror movie about someone who's possessed by the devil.
A remake of a 70s movie?
A remake?
Yeah, it's a remake.
Possessed by the devil?
Yes.
Don't-
That was my guess.
No,
He said
no.
yes. He
no,
said yes.
No, I thought, yes.
I got it right.
No. It's, well, he's not possessed, but he's like the son of the devil.
Little Nicky?
The Omen.
It's the Omen. Little Nicky might have been.
That's
Is it
pretty
on
good.
here? It might have been on. No, it's not on.
No,
It's a
that was
different year.
that was earlier.
Okay, it's the Omen. Ryan wins. Congratulations, Ryan. You won the box office game. This and Jace, sorry, you had a severe. Your computer stopped working. All right, maybe next time.
Was this entered at all into the Teen Choice Awards?
It was. It's also 2006. So I was gonna spare. I think I've run at 2016 Choice Awards at you guys over and over because we've done Teen Choice Awards and Kids Choice Awards both from this year. So I was like,
Oh,
we
okay.
can't do it again. This movie starts with Lightning McQueen. He literally says, "I am Speed" in the first line. He's in the garage, and I think right away I'm pretty shocked at the sound design and the animation in this movie. Shit's pumping, man. I mean, how are you guys feeling going into this?
I was not expecting it to be as like silly as it was. It was a little bit lower than I thought. Like it was kind of more kidsy. As stupid as this is, like I don't think of Toy Story and stuff as like a super kidsy movie because like those movies have physics and stuff. But I was surprised that the opening scene was like speed racery. The cars were like jumping around and stuff. I thought it was gonna be like Days of Thunder, like the like NASCAR.
It wasn't as grounded actually.
Yeah.
He throws his wheel up on the side cage to pass
Yeah, that was
somebody.
cool.
Yeah, he
It
literally
was
jumps
cool.
and stuff.
Yeah, I was also struck by how many gags there were. Like the gag density in this thing. Like how many?
High.
Like yeah, I had to keep pausing and like looking at like the like the RV cars and like just the different bits that they were doing. The Elvis car. I was liking this shit. You can tell like 1,000 people worked on this thing.
Yeah. There's also a lot of weird stuff that I thought from the get-go.
The
that
flashing.
yes, that's where I'm going. They throw in, and a lot of movies are like, a lot of kids, quote unquote kids movies that adults like.
Yeah.
The floor is set higher, and the adults can enjoy them because they're like they're a good movie in their own right. Yeah,
Right.
there's some mature themes, but the kids don't pick up on those. This movie did it differently, where like the theme was super, super basic. Like there's just cars running around.
I am speed,
But
baby.
there was like random jokes that like were very mature. And if there was any chance of a kid picking up on them, it would have gotten cut.
There's like 18 verifiable innuendo in this points in this movie, and it's pretty funny.
Pretty
Yeah.
funny. Jace already mentioned there's a classic kind of setup where there's a female car in the audience. I think maybe two of them. And they show their headlights
They
to
flash
lightning.
lightning
yeah.
with.
And security's like, get out of here, guys. Come
And
on.
Lightning,
Like, they do.
Lightning McQueen's like, Shaga, Shawawaga,
Yeah, that's what he says.
Honk, honk.
Chonga.
And he slaps
Talk
his
about
foot on the ground.
ka-chow.
Yeah.
Yeah. His tongue rolls out like a red carpet.
I think it does multiple times. I don't know that scene, but they do have some. They definitely worked on some tongue animation in this
They did.
movie.
Yeah, they did. He uses his tongue a lot in this movie. Lightning McQueen, his whole thing in the beginning, he's a one-man show. He's kind of an asshole to all the rest of his pit crew. You know, he's like, oh, ka-chow, it's all about me. And they're all like, oh, fuck you, Lightning, we're not going to work for you. I don't know, I thought those scenes were kind of funny, like especially his agent scenes. Like any scene with the agent, I think, was like minute for minute some of the funniest shit.
The most classic in it for the money. Lightning McQueen is completely aloof. Like, hey man, let me know when you're in town. We'll go get some steaks. Like Lightning, like, oh yeah, I'd like that. I'm like, yeah, okay, bye.
Anyways, gotta go, man. Sorry. And he's like, it always makes me feel bad taking 10% of your racing winnings and your merchandising and your blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then I also liked Lightning's, they talked about sponsorships in the movie. Like the whole point of the movie is that he wants to get that Dynaco sponsorship. It kind of mirrors Speed Racer a little bit in that way, where Speed's kind of this rookie, he's upcoming, and he's trying to get all this, this big, awesome deals. And he's stuck with Rusty's medicated bumper ointment, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good. I didn't realize it was bumper ointment.
Yeah, and
That's
like
not
the
bad.
bumpers are shining. Yeah, it would be like if
Preparation
like
H.
Yeah, I would wear that proudly.
I think isn't
on
that
my-
an actual joke? I think it's an actual joke in Ricky Bobby.
It has to be. I think they stole it from this. Unfortunately, there's no way to verify for sure. At the end of the race, he gets driven around by a Mack truck. I don't want to dwell on this. It's a little weird that another car is driving a car around. Why are Mack trucks subservient to cars in this universe?
He's
Like,
not
what-
subservient. That's just his job.
That's his job.
Yeah, but he has to drive fucking Lightning around. Why can't Lightning just drive on the roads?
To save wear and tear.
Yeah.
You let the lower class
Okay. Yeah, okay, there it is.
build up all the miles.
All right.
Is that
all
how
right.
you feel about physical therapists, like working for athletes?
Yeah.
Why
yeah.
does the human take
Why?
care of the other human?
That would be like if a physical therapist was piggybacking Marshawn Lynch around around the office. So I need to go up those stairs, man.
Save the mileage.
Save the mileage. I think he's retired. I don't know why I said Marshawn, but
Marshawn Lynch is a great dude.
yeah, he's now he does improv, which I think is the
Really?
best unexpected retirement plan. He does like tons of like comedy shows, which I think's hilarious. That's so great. Anyways, Lightning gets chased by a cop. I think it's funny that he thought immediately the cop was shooting at him, which implies a lot again in the car universe. Cars have guns. And then
Oh, cars have guns.
Car guns
Cars-
exist.
In the
Yeah.
second movie, there's guns.
what are they holding him with?
They're car hands.
They're wheels? Or do they come out?
They come out.
Oh.
The front.
So, but it's
They're all like
established.
James Bond's car.
Okay. Yeah. Right. But in Disney, cars are getting shot.
Yes, and there's missiles and stuff.
For
Kids
sure.
are, that's
Okay.
we can
Okay,
do all
yeah.
that with that. We can show that to the kids.
We
Yeah.
can show that. Yeah.
We can show
Disney
dismemberment.
loves that shit.
Okay.
What do you...
That's right. Yeah. we're getting sued by 6 different gigantic corporations. He goes to car prison. someone yells at him that he's a fascist and a commie, which I think's hilarious. Which means fascism and communism exist in this universe. Okay, anyways, courtroom scene. Ryan, I have. What do you think about this? You are a resident
Ryan, what's up?
lawyer. You talk about courtroom scenes and their accuracy. How was the
trying to
courtroom
remember.
scene?
I thought it was pretty funny, right? They have like the car lift for the judge and everything,
Yeah.
but they were gonna let him go.
Yeah.
They were like ready to let him go, and then
Yeah.
Well, Doc,
Other-
Doc was.
Sally came in, and that was pretty funny. I don't know. There's nothing really bad about it. It's just a small town. Town and justice courts are kind of like that. I volunteered in. I do a lot of volunteer work in like town and justice courts.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Break for applause.
No,
All right.
I'm saying I don't
that's
get
great,
sent
Ryan.
there.
Yeah.
I don't get sent there for my job. I'm saying.
Listen, I'm a great. Yeah. No, I think that's great, right? That's cool. Yeah.
So stay out of those areas because the lawyer can come in and sway the entire public opinion
so
of you. And
this is the interesting part, and I've mentioned this before, but at least in a lot of states and in New York, you don't have to be a lawyer to be a judge at a justice court.
Oh my God. You can just be an old guy who.
Yeah, you can just be straight chilling. So it made sense that Doc was not like an old lawyer judge.
So you think this is pretty accurate? Like this is rates high?
Yeah, small town,
Ryan's.
small town stuff. It's fine. Now chaining him to something I don't know
Yeah.
about, but
Okay.
like I thought it was pretty funny.
They vote to convict Lightning McQueen. Community service.
are tires all sizes?
I think
What?
I actually are tires all the same size?
No. There were different size tires. Who's making the tires?
Yeah, that must be like the
Right.
biggest company in the world, right? Like 'cause everyone needs tires.
Yeah.
Because people are losing tires in this movie, and it's not like their foot. They're just like, oh, a tire came off, and they get the new one.
It's like shoes for us.
I'm thinking about this because the reason Lightning McQueen is in prison is because he tore up the town.
Yeah.
I think including knocking over the leaning tower of tires.
Huge tragedy. Great joke on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Italian Ferrari
Yeah.
loving tire dealer is probably my favorite side character.
Yeah, he's the Fiat. Yeah, and he's got to repave the road, and he goes to a small town called on Route 66. And I actually just drove through Route 66 with Amber just like a couple months ago, and I have to say it's just like this, like the aesthetic, the feeling, the locals. There's actually more disdain from the locals at how many tourists are rolling through. Like I went through Winslow, Arizona, which is where the famous Eagles song "Easy" comes from. They're like, well, I've been driving through standing on the corner of Winslow, Arizona. You know that song? I'm not gonna get DMCA. That was too off key. But anyways, I went through there, and it was literally just like a one street town, and then you go through and it's done. And that's what a lot of towns on Route 66 felt like. So when they were kind of talking about that whole situation on Radiator Springs, I was like, shit, you can literally see that like in any of these places.
I've been quite a bit through the southwest U.S.
Yeah.
and like Nevada and Utah and everything in Arizona and stuff. And I totally agree. And even here in New York, so the thruway, so I-90
Yeah.
is about 300 yards down my road.
Yeah.
And it's a tollway. It's a toll highway. So there's only on and offs every 20 miles.
So it's just like a straight.
A lot of towns are actually kind of like this in cars. And when I watched this movie, I went to Ithaca for the weekend. And when I drive around New York, I stay off the tollway like at all times. I like to drive just on the small roads. And there's a lot of towns that used to be on the highway that was kind of replaced or at least supplanted by this tollway. And it's they're sad. They
Drive
don't have
over
exits.
towns. Right. Like
Maybe every other town has an exit or something. But there's no, you can't even get off of the thruway here, so it's even a little bit worse.
It's sad. I think that whole
And they're
sequence
lovely
was-
little
yeah.
towns. I love them.
Right.
I really enjoy driving through these towns. Like I take the scenic route everywhere I go, and it's just kind of a hard economic thing where we've determined that as a society we would rather have large interstate, inner big city commerce than small town connections.
Yeah, it's the classic story that we have, and in my multi-part essay about why cars ruined America. But Lightning McQueen has to fix this town, this sad little town. where only like 10 people live in, and they're all cool, charming characters. And this is, at this point, I'm kind of realizing this movie is 2 hours long because like we're like an hour in. And much like this podcast, I'm like, how fucking long?
Let's be clear. The courthouse scene is at 45 minutes into the movie.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
You would think-
really late.
Yeah, you would think that's the setup for the rest of the premise, right? So it's, and I think it's incredible at an animated movie, 2 hours. That's an insane amount of work. But also for a kids movie like Pixar, that's a lot of time for
epic.
kids to be.
It's like
Yeah,
that's like getting them to sit down and watch Napoleon.
Right, right. It's a lot of time to be holding pee, I think, for kids. That's absolutely outrageous. But I think ultimately, like, this movie is kind of a story a little bit about burnout. I mean, you have Sally's character who was talking about she was like an LA attorney and she wanted kind of a different life because she was kind of like tired of the grind, you know, and she goes out and decides to lead a simpler, Ryan's like grabbing his head, simpler and happier life. And then Doc's character.
Now I get why this was so traumatic for Ryan to
I
watch.
forgot.
Yeah.
That I went through that whole thing where I was like literally experiencing burnout, and then went to a small town and watched this movie, and then on the way back drove through like
Spiral.
the scenic route, and like it hit me. Oh man, it's coming back.
I think Cars kind of speaks to that, where it's about kind of it's confronting, coming to different crossroads in your life, changing things up. Because Doc's character goes through something like that too. He was a former racer and decides to kind of retire from that life after getting disillusioned. And McQueen, against his own will, is coming to a similar realization that there's other things that are more important than just being alone at the top with no friends, no life, but you just got those trophies, just empty cups. Lightning.
He did what in a who?
Yeah.
Mater is great.
Okay,
Mater.
can we talk about Mater? Yeah.
Yeah, this movie does have great messaging, but it also has Larry the Cable Guy, I believe, as Tow Mater, the towing truck.
Oh
who
my
is-
God, Tow
so
Mater.
good.
Yeah.
He's a tow truck.
Yeah,
And his name is Mater.
He does have he's got the easiest way. I think if I had to pick to be a vehicle, tow truck with the hook that can.
Right. He has another.
He's got
a
a
hand.
whole actual hand compared to, like the dolly vehicle can only go up and down with his hands. Mater can grab shit.
He can
Whatever he
actually
wants
grab
to.
it. Right. He can hook other cars. He is actually like really dominant, I think, over the other cars because he can tow people. Lightning McQueen has no prehensile anything. He is a box.
Do you think it's like a Lenny situation where they're just like
Oh, no.
really hoping he never figures out that he's like the strongest person and like just
Probably.
goes ballistic?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, definitely.
Just look at the rabbit. Think of the rabbits, Mater.
Interesting point because like Larry the Cable Guy was so fucking huge all over TV
Outrageous.
around this time period. And then did he get canceled? He could have.
I don't know.
think so. I think what happened was he was a comedian who was doing a bit. That's like a new thing,
Yeah.
Not really new thing, but like because there's Andy Kaufman and stuff. But like he was doing a bit. He made a couple movies. He did his redneck stand-up tour or whatever, and then he did this movie and made freaking bank on it and all the sequels. And is like, I never have to work another day in my life or my children's lives.
Broke a guy's arm wrestling.
He broke a guy's arm wrestling.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
So yeah, folks. If you think he's such a good guy,
Wait, hold
Consider
on.
this.
In
Consider
2016, he was at a
Yeah.
Cornhuskers football game in a suite,
Okay.
and another guest challenged him to an arm wrestling match.
Okay.
And he broke the dude's humerus.
oh my! So he's super strong, like his character. in this
Yes.
movie. So not only is he funny, he's strong. I mean, I don't want to get into it. It happened at our school. All right, it happened.
Yeah.
Substitute teacher. Did we talk about this on the podcast?
I think we talked about it during Batman and Robin or something.
Did it happen? It was briefly a football player arm wrestled a substitute teacher. It was a great, funny time until the substitute teacher's arm broke, and everybody screamed. That might have been the funniest thing to happen. It's so
I would tell that
a
story.
horrible-
I would tell that story in college, and nobody would believe me. And then
Yeah.
they met Matt. Matt came down to visit,
right.
and I
able
was
to
like,
verify.
I was like, hey, remember this time? He's like, yeah. Oh man, it was awesome.
And that's a horrible break too. That's very traumatic.
Oh,
that's
yeah, terrible.
All right. I'm sorry. Well, that's not. I hope the guy's okay. Is he okay, Jace? Did you see if he
He died.
his arm
It's
his
He
arm
was one
ripped
of those
off?
people where their blood vessels, their carotid artery goes through their arm.
Oh my God. Larry the Cable Guy. We don't think he did it again though.
he probably, he's probably not in our good graces, but yeah, I think he's alive.
I think
his suite of comedy definitely
right.
trends
We
towards.
can predict. Let's say.
He definitely didn't believe
We're
COVID
putting
was
him in
real.
a pile.
So
Pile of
Okay.
types of people. We're stereotyping a little bit.
All right. And that is 7 people who will sue us for this episode. All right.
check mark.
Yeah, and well, this movie kind of follows the typical like city guy goes to the small town, kind of falls in love, also kind of learns different values, and kind of learns that things aren't all about speed. It's not all about business, all right? You gotta slow down, take things in, and then they find him, right? They get a final race in this movie in Los Angeles, Ding and Ding, and his pit crew is the friends he made along the way. Maybe the real pit crew was the friends he made along the way. We kind of mentioned in the beginning there was a 3-way tie between him, the lead guy from Dynaco, and the asshole.
Asshole
Chick
with a
was her name?
mustache.
Yeah, Kachiga, which I thought was hilarious in all of his scenes. And what happens in the race? I mean,
It's like a gruesome death match of a fucking where for some reason, even though the vehicles are their bodies,
yeah.
it's totally chill to just brutally maim somebody in a race, which happened to Doc, the Hudson Hornet. He won 3 races and he got in a bad crash, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't care about you anymore."
Yeah.
Like
And-
horses.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
they're
think they
people.
shoot them after they. I think don't horses shoot them if they break a nail or something? It seems like they shoot them at every opportunity. All right, so
the final race,
the final race.
the Thunder green car hits Dynaco Blue and sends him into the grass.
Pretty
which-
bad crash.
Right behind Lightning McQueen. McQueen's about to finish. This crash goes off. He's like, I'm not losing to you again. Throws him into the grass. Lightning McQueen stops 2 inches right before the the finish line. And he circles back and he pushes the king through the finish line together. Which gets him an offer he loses the Piston Cup, which would have been world history. And he does it because now he cares.
He's a sportsman. He helped King finish his last race. Everyone realizes that Lightning is a great sportsman. I think he kind of earns everyone's cred. It's like when you see an athlete show a lot of character in a moment, I think that gains them a lot of fans. I think that's what happened in this moment. Meanwhile, Chick, even though he won the race, they're just kind of they're all booing him and
He
throwing
threw
shit
the
at him.
trophy at him, and then he's like, "Where's the?" I like that bit. They're like, "Where's the confetti?" And they shoot the confetti cannons up, and he's like, "Ah!"
Which, yeah, and I think it passes a nice message to kids, too. It's winning isn't everything, especially when it comes to the cost of your character or the people around you. And Lightning, he gets what he wants, but in the end, he sticks with his with Rusty's medicated bumper ointment because they gave him his start. And then he gets Tow Mater his helicopter ride from Dynaco. It was a nice moment, and everyone's like, you know what, Lightning, you're a fucking cool guy. And what is he? He opens his headquarters in Radiator Springs, helps it become a boom town again. Everybody wins, and I think it wrapped up pretty nicely. There's no bitter pill at the end of the movie or anything like what happened in other movies that we watched. It was just nice to see somebody win in this fictional Pixar movie. Do we want to get into the meters for this thing?
Kinda.
Probably.
Yeah. If we get 2 no's, we keep doing bits until
until one of us dies, and
until
then
one of us. Yeah, we do it forever. Jace, this was your movie. Do you want to say what the meter is, what we do for this section?
Yeah. So we've got apologies to somebody who's listened to every single episode. we've got our movie meter, and then we start with our accelerometer, and that's how is this movie, how on brand.
Yeah, how
on theme this movie is, but it doesn't really necessarily, it doesn't matter how good the movie is, so to speak. It could factor in, but how is it?
Yes, very important.
They said the word throttle, that's important. And then we have the movie meter, and that's kind of more of a classic thumbs up, thumbs down. This movie was good because of this cinematic aspect, yada, yada. I enjoyed it, blah, 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 boom. Both out of 10, and Now I will rate it.
Yes, great. Spoken like a podcaster who's done this over 100 times.
Cars meter. Cars accelerometer.
How Cars was Cars?
How Cars was Cars? Fuck, shit. This might be another 10, dog. I don't
How is it not a 10?
much against Ryan's chagrin. I don't know if that's how you would say that statement,
Yeah.
Much too, yeah.
Much again. Yeah, it's with his chagrin.
With his again is when you have something to your chagrin, does
I
that
think
mean
you're
Yeah,
in,
'cause
you're
you're
you like
inside.
it or
my-
you don't like it?
Chagrin would be bad.
Chagrin is negative?
You're inside his chagrin.
Oh, Ryan, yeah.
You're not in my-
much,
you're not in my
much
chagrin.
inside
I'm in
your
much inside Ryan's chagrin.
yeah. So the saying goes. I've watched this twice now. It's pretty car. They drink oil. They talk about throttles. They replace parts. There's a tire shop. I don't think we've seen that in a car movie yet. And that's a really important part for cars. We get like 6 major car brands, including Ferraris. There's some sick drives. We get every type of race that I think Ryan might talk about or has previously requested, including a final race. A beautiful race through some scenery, some horniness.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's usually in there.
I think it's 10.
Yeah. Okay, it's a 10,000 RPMs.
10,000 RPMs.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Ryan, yeah. What do you think?
Well, so first-time listeners to this season will be surprised, but I think it would go along with the theme if my score for this was rather low.
Oh my God, Ryan.
Because I
You're gonna
don't
rate Cars
I
low?
think Cars is going to be very confusing unless you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't think Cars is a movie for people who like cars. I think Cars is just a movie that has cars in it.
Oh my God.
Just
Okay.
like a lot of other car movies have cars in them. Or I guess a lot of other movies have cars in them. Like everything is car themed and stuff, but this is not what I would show to somebody who likes cars, right?
It's got country music.
Okay, so a point for having.
Counterpoint, Ryan.
So on the one hand, yes, it's probably front to back the most cars you could possibly have, right? But then, yeah, I just don't think it's like hyper masculine, like sexual tension kind of energy. Plus, like you get, you go fast and you kind of get off on it, kind of a thing.
It's Lightning McQueen's personality.
But it's not as. But it's by it being a kids movie, I wouldn't be like, oh, you really like cars? You should watch Pixar's Cars.
You think Lightning should be more sexual? Is that what
No,
your solution
what I'm saying,
here?
what I'm saying is,
This is a kids movie.
let's say you're getting your tires changed.
Okay.
You're getting your oil changed.
Right.
You're at the shop and you're talking like, oh yeah, because like I've been watching movies. I work here, so I watch a lot of car movies.
Yeah.
And this is the guy. He's about 6'3". He weighs
Okay.
probably 315. Yeah, he's a big
It's a
dude.
specimen. It's above
Yeah,
average.
He's got a rag over his shoulder.
Uh-huh.
You know, his hands are all greasy. His sleeves are rolled up a little bit. He's
Yeah.
sweating.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Marks from the safety goggles on his face.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And you're like, yeah, you should watch Cars. Pixar's 2006 Cars.
Oh
probably
man,
seen it.
I love Tomater, and my kid does too. He watches that movie every day.
That's what I'm saying. He's probably seen it. Like,
And that's right, but that's what I'm
movie?
saying. Is like this movie is like Tomater is a caricature in this movie, whereas a lot of other car movies are made for people like Mater. And so I'm gonna go ahead and give this a oof. I think I'm gonna go with a 6,
Oh.
which is higher than I was thinking until I saw how angry you guys were.
Oh, I don't give a rat's
It works.
tailpipe.
Yeah,
I
that's
should
good.
have
No,
said a car's name there.
car rat. I don't know what you're talking about, Jace. I don't know what a rat is. Okay, a 6,000 RPMs, Ryan, because I don't know what a 6 is.
Oh, 6,000. Yes.
Yeah,
6,000.
6,000 RPMs. Well,
My
Ryan,
apologies as well.
Yeah, you can tell. Thank you, Jace. You can tell that I'm kind of on the other side of the fence by my protest. This movie the main character is a car. Okay, we at the beginning of the season, we're like, we're gonna watch car movies. All right, not movies car guys like. We're gonna watch car movies. All right, are these movies with cars in them? Are they about cars? Okay, the main character here is a car. All right. Every other character in this movie is also a car. Have we encountered this in any other movie? There is one scene where they say there is 200,000 cars. Okay? That is the most cars we have ever had in any movie we have ever watched. I don't want to see that number ever go up, all right? Every fucking mountain, every like bug, animal, everything is a car in this movie, okay? There's so much goddamn cars. They talk about cars every second, and then they replace things. Like, they replace words with, like, oh, that's a car bug. Oh, that's a car shoe. Or just, there's shit in here. They're just talking about cars so much, okay? It revolves around NASCAR, okay? They're racing on a track. That's the national sport, all right? Can you imagine if our national sport was watching guys just run around a track and 200,000 people showed up? All right, this is their like big thing. That doesn't happen, right? There's not like an awesome ass. Anyways, yeah, it's like there's shitloads of car shit in here. There's racing, there's roaring. It takes place in LA. You get a garage scene. You see cars undercarriage. There's a lot of car gags. People are tooting out of their exhaust pipes. Cars are supposedly trying to get with each other to make more cars, all right? That we haven't seen that in another movie before, okay? This is a 10 for me, okay? This is a car movie, and if I might also posit, I do think car guys, even though car guys are not always children, I do think car guys would like this movie. I think it's one of the fun Pixar movies. I think it's a good Pixar movie. And I do think a guy at a shop who has kids, fuck yeah, he's seen cars. And maybe like out of the 1 million like Frozen rewatches and Lego movie rewatches, he's like, oh, thank God he's watching Cars, or whoever's watching Cars. What a relief. So I'm going to give it a 10.
It's a solid IQ match. And you're going to give it a what? Sorry,
I don't know what I just said. 10,000 RPMs. I don't know what a 10 is. Movie meter, Jace. What do you think about this movie?
In the grand scheme of car vehicles, I think they did pretty. It wasn't until we started reviewing the movie that I thought that it had pacing problems. Like, it's a long movie, but it seems to be generally like pretty okay while you're watching it. I think it flows. But then during this review, I was kind of like, oh, that shit dragged on. There was a lot of subplot in there. And I don't know, that might be my only distraction. I think they had a good script, as basic as it was. I think that the voice actors, I don't think they phoned home.
They phoned home? Like E.T.?
I phoned it in. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's great.
Name something more common than me in getting my sayings wrong.
They phoned home. They're stuck.
I think like an 8. Yeah. 8 feels good. Yeah. Nothing really wrong with this movie. Really good. I understand why it made so much money. I enjoyed both my watches of it. 8,000 RPMs.
8,000. Well, it's not the we can know what 8s are.
Yeah.
I mean,
fuck
with the
shit.
God. Yeah, that's one thing too, is like I agree, Jace. Like, it's such a huge production that it's kind of easy to like take it for granted that like, oh yeah, Cars, that's a good movie. Of course it's a good movie. It's like a Pixar movie. But when you really like break it down and be like, why? Why is Cars a good movie? Like, oh dude, okay. Yeah, everything is Cars. It's like a story, but you get it, they're like all cars. I'm like, why does that make it good? And like, I don't know, but it's kind of fun, right? Like,
it's a bit, yeah.
You kind of watch it, you're like, haha, they're all cars. Like every like 20 minutes or so. I thought the plot was really dry. Like, I thought there was gonna be a lot more like tension and stuff. I don't know. I was underwhelmed. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 5.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's lower than I thought you'd go.
It is a movie.
It's a movie, and it exists, and it's about cars. That's right. I didn't think that a lot of the bits that I thought I was gonna like really paid off. Especially like the ka-chow part. Whenever he says ka-chow, he just says, "Oh hey everybody, oh yeah hi ka-chow. So what's going on?" He doesn't go like, "Ah ka-chow." I thought he did like this huge thing. He kind of like Owen Wilson in the sound was just kind of like ka-chow,
Ka-chow.
ka-chow, ka-chow. Kind of like to make a few different ones and then just like place it in wherever they needed it.
You think when he climaxes, he says ka-chow?
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow!
Yeah, maybe 5 is a little harsh. I'll do a 6. I think 5 is just a little harsh because
It is
like,
harsh.
Because there's nothing really wrong with it, and there's a couple things that are good, but like, man, I was waiting for it to go to the next level, and I think what I talked about having too low of a floor, I think really hurt it for me. But the sex jokes are hilarious, so I'll give it a 6.
Okay. Some more sex jokes. Would it push it to a 7 or 8?
Yeah. Oh,
For you,
definitely.
I think with more. If this was like Sausage Party but with cars, I
Yes.
think if they end with a
Right. That's kind of what
Yeah.
it feels like they're banking on.
yeah, I'm kind of feeling what you guys are saying. I think there was pacing issues in this movie. 2-hour runtime's a little rough. There's a couple times throughout this movie where I'm kind of like, okay, this is kind of a little slow. There is a lot of kind of Lightning McQueen, like looking at the landscape and him trying to escape over and over again and him trying to realize where he's at with his life. I'm like, okay, we can probably cut out a little bit, make this a tiny bit tighter. But I liked all the car gags. I liked the visuals in this movie. You can tell they put a lot of work into this thing. The sound design was incredible. I even liked kind of the mid-2000s soundtrack. I don't know, a lot of things here worked for me. I was laughing, I was smiling. I was feeling my heartstrings plucked in this movie. And, I think that's a lot to say compared to a lot of movies we've seen on this show. Okay, we've seen a lot of dog shit. Not only in this season, but also just in our show in general. We've watched like 100 movies. And to have a movie I'm enjoying all the way through, and at the end, I'm like, that was a good faith effort to make a good movie, and it turned out good, and I enjoyed it, and felt all the emotions that they wanted me to. So I think that's going to be an 8 for me. I'll save the 9s or 10s for like the amazing movies that like I'm fucking blown away by. But I enjoyed this movie a lot more than I remembered. Even in 6th grade when this movie came out, I think I enjoyed it more now, just picking up on more things. I think it's a good movie. Fuck it. It's my favorite movie. I got a Cars tattoo.
Guys, I got ka-chow tattooed
That
on
would
my
kind of be
ass.
dope. That would actually be like.
Anyways, okay. We finished it, guys. We did it. We ka-chowed it. Cars is reviewed. Let us know what you think about Cars. I think you guys are going to like Cars. I think you guys are going to like our review just fine, okay? Ryan, you're going to finish us off. We're almost at the finish line. We're almost there. We're coming up on episode 10 of The Garage, okay? Ryan, you got the last movie. You started this
So
off,
that's a
you're
lot
gonna
of
finish this
pressure.
off.
I was gonna take the Cars bullet if
Yeah.
Jace didn't, so thank you. However, there's still a little bit of that.
Gas in the tank.
Sure.
Oil on the rag.
Rag?
Oil on the
I don't like that, but the there's still a little bit of like, what do you say?
Air in the
Oh,
tires.
we're watching 10 car movies.
Yeah.
fart in the cabin.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk through this bit, so keep going.
Okay.
When people say we're watching 10 car movies, they're like, oh, did you watch Cars? But then also there's some other movies.
I see. Okay.
I've gotten a couple good suggestions. So my friend Max suggested that we watch 1971's Duel. It was
Oh my gosh, my friend
Steven-
Mandy mentioned that too.
It
Yeah.
was Steven Spielberg's first movie.
Okay.
And it was a TV movie, and it's widely regarded as one of like the best TV movies ever, if not the best. And we got a re-release for like a longer runtime later when Spielberg became like famous, I guess. So there's that. But I don't know. That's kind of a mid-season, not like end
Right.
pick. I think
Finish.
it's a great pick.
Yeah.
But I also get asked, did you watch Mad Max Fury Road? That's like
Oh, interesting. Okay.
car front to back. That's like vehicles.
They're
you know,
driving the whole movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
just go. So I thought about just picking that and just going. But
Okay.
also, I really like the picker wheel. I like the
Okay,
little chaos.
yeah. I figured this would happen.
I
Okay,
like the
yeah,
chaos
yeah.
that gets brought into it. I don't think we should watch Duel because I couldn't find it for streaming.
Really? Okay.
I didn't look up. That's not a great excuse because the other things I look up I didn't really put on there. I put 2 movies on the picker wheel.
Great.
Mad Max.
Mm-hmm.
And because I like the picker wheel to be kind of a dichotomy,
Okay.
you know, we have the ultimate, what could possibly be like the ultimate car movie, the end of the world car movie.
2 seasons. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also like the shittiest quasi car movie we could
oh,
make.
Need for
okay.
Speed?
Oh, that's definitely a car movie. So what I've done, if I'll share my screen.
I'm so scared, Ryan. I'm so fucking scared what you're gonna show me.
Cruise?
So I've made a picker wheel, and I've given weight to it. So we have Mad Max Fury Road on one side.
So
on the other side, we have the movie Road
Oh,
Trip.
you piece of shit.
So okay, wait.
Mad Max has a 75% chance, but a slice of the pie has gone to Road Trip.
What the fuck is Road Trip?
It's a early 2000s comedy starring Sean William Scott and co. That's what I mean. We need stakes.
Oh my god.
What would be the
Ryan.
point? What's the car metaphor for you just on an
Lord.
open, straight road?
You know, I was like, thank God we don't have to watch another Sean William Scott movie. I was like, okay, we did our time. We watched so many.
Even in the movie Cars, when he's on an open, straight road, he falls asleep, you know?
Yeah.
So let's keep things exciting.
Holy
What are the
shit,
chances?
dude.
Chances are 1 in 4.
It's 25%, dude. That's a
Yeah.
huge chance.
That's
That's like
not
Russian
that
roulette
huge
with
of a
2
chance.
bullets in the chamber, man. That's like it's too high.
You think
my
you think
God.
3 to 1 is too high?
I think it's way too fucking high.
Jace,
man.
what do you think?
Okay.
I
I mean, it's your call, Ryan. You could spin it.
I wasn't
I'm
really
just complaining.
I wasn't really thinking because I saw a little blurb for the movie Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise.
That's a good
racing movie. And
That's a really good movie.
but you know it's a racing movie, not a car movie. So
And it's
Okay,
kind of
Shit.
it's kind of like a prelude to Eyes Wide Shut as well. I think we're
Let's
pretty
do
good.
this.
Do you want me to do
Let's
4 to
do
1?
this.
I was originally going to think 4 to 1.
No.
yeah,
That's a slice right there. That's a pretty good slice.
I feel like you changing it to 4 to 1 is almost 100% chance it goes to Road Trip now. I think.
not how-
Let's spin, baby. Are we ready?
Oh God. Okay. Oh my God. I am
Fate's it's
sweating.
fate. We want green. Green means go.
Oh my
green
God.
means
please.
go. Green
Please.
means go.
Oh my God.
that was close.
Oh, that was too close.
We've got Mad Max. We've
We've got another
everybody-
2-hour movie locked and loaded.
God. Oh my God.
If it was 25%, it probably would have gotten Road Trip.
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you did it, Ryan. That was that was really close. Okay. All right. You know what? I'm cool with this. I've been meaning to rewatch that movie, Mad Max Fury Road. It's on Max.
It's number 2 on this 38 greatest car movies ever made list.
Right. Was
What's
number
number
1
one?
Cars?
I think it's I have to scroll to the bottom because I clicked on it.
It's Road Trip.
Taxi Driver.
That's not a car movie.
Yeah.
There's cars in it.
The next episode's not for kids, guys. I'll say that's rated R. So we can cuss all we fucking want in that one, just not this one. Folks, we gotta. It's explicit. All right, it's your fault, parents, if you clicked on this and then you
is.
played it in front of your kids with all that stuff in there. All right, it's your fault. Thank you for listening, though, and we hope to see you guys next week with Mad Max. We're almost at the end of The Garage. Follow us. Listen to our other episodes too. We got a Sean William Scott season that we finished, a dog season, Apocalypse movies.
Yeah, I like the Apocalypse movies. Was it interesting?
We didn't watch this one for that one, so I'm
Right.
I'm happy about that.
We've got a great backlog, guys. You want to check us out, check out more episodes. Guys, do you want to end with a piece of car advice?
Sure. Jace, go ahead.
Popcorn car advice. Just any word that comes to mind.
Fuzzy.
Okay.
Ooh. Antennas.
Are
A
Sign
of
moisture
on
your
glove box.
if
Oh my God. The
Garage door.
stays.
open.
Close.
Wait, what?
Close.
Yeah.
Open, close?
If the garage door stays open, close.
Stays open, closed. Oh, I see. Okay, yes. That makes sense. We did it. Okay, I'm sorry. I held this up. Jace, you had the hardest position. It just kept coming around for all of the like actionable words.